living in Alice in Wonderland. This is imbecilic optimism, optimistic drivel.
Yes, indeed, we like our optimistic drivel around these parts. Hit like, hit share. We are going to go live early today, a lot earlier than usual anyway, with our pre-show stream. And what if you found out that the internet passed away 5 years ago? We're going to take a look at that today and a whole lot more on your KBS Live. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Yes, earlier stream today. We've got Scotland game on. I'm watching that with my son. That'll be starting in an hour or so. So we're gonna chill out. We're gonna take a look at some stuff I've come across. Nothing dramatic, something fun, something light-hearted, something we can laugh at. And for anyone out there in chatland who just want to conspiracy spurg, you've got Facebook and you've got Twitter to go and do that. So please, I'm asking you nicely once, John. Just we're not on that here. We don't spurg out on here. And I have enforced the wrenches to take action on anyone who goes into topics and just wants to conspiracy signal. Because that's what it is at this point. You're talking to people in here that all know about all these things. But we've been doing this for a long, long time. And to be just spurging out and just randomly throwing things in there, not on my name, not on my watch. So we've got Donny, we've got Regla, we've got Bernays. Bernays, my friend. I was seeing you on Twitter today. I always like following what you're up to, man. We've got Polly in there, Angadunham. John, who I mentioned, come on, John. Take a day off, man. Take a day off. It's brilliant when you take a day off. You've got Bernays, Bet. Sidvich was first today. Rick Anderson, good to see you, brother. I hope you're going to be watching the game later. And after the game, I will be live over on Odyssey and TFR Live with Charlie Robinson. No, actually, no. If you're offended, I'll really offend you now. There you go. Just go away. That's it. Done. How many times do you have to warn people, folks? Really? I mean, what was the point in that? What was the point in that? Let's see. We've got a grand total of how many people watching? 10 people, and somebody wanted to spurg out and conspiracy signal to anyone else out there who's wanting to spurg out with them. Why? I don't get it. I really don't get it. So, my rules, my house, not playing that game. If it offends people, well, it just have to be offended, I'm afraid. Just have to be offended. Because I haven't been on YouTube for over 10 years to let somebody else spurg out about something we're not even talking about here today. We're not even getting into that. Not even getting into it. But yet, there's somewhere I can type and make myself look really, really, really cool. Okay, didn't look too cool to me, but hey, have at it. So, listen, folks, with that said, we're going to take a look at something that I've not read today. I got the headline and I thought, well, that looks like it could be interesting, right? I know I seen it earlier and you said I should have listened for you. I should have waited for you. I should have waited for you to get it. Bet, I hope you're doing well out there. And I'm sorry, folks, but it's like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. I laugh at people who virtue signal. I really do. I find that highly comical. I find it quite cringy. And it works both ways. It works for people like us that look at alternative information as well. So I really don't get it. It doesn't make you look too good. I'm just saying. Hey-ho. And it wasn't even anything new. It wasn't even anything new. It's stuff that we've been talking about on the main show forever. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Rick. I am the captain of my own ship, and before long, it'll just be me on it, right? But hey, that's the way it rolls around here, folks. What can I say? So just to remind people, if you would like to, and you don't have to, but if you'd like to become a member of the channel, there's a big shiny join button up here. You can click on that. £1.99 gets you in the door. £2, folks. Not even the price of a Starbucks flat white. And you can have a month of yours truly. Well, you get like 4 live streams on a Sunday. It's not a dedicated full month of me. Not that anyone would want a full month of Kev Baker, right? But tonight on the show, we have got Charlie Robinson. And like it says down in the bottom corner there, we're going to be live over on Odyssey TV. And we had the CEO of Odyssey on last week, and he was like a breath of fresh air. Myself and Scotty got off that show, and we were highly, highly, highly impressed with what he had to say. Hopefully get Jeremy back on sometime soon, and maybe even reach out to Jeremy and see if we can get on some other types of alt tech, future or forward thinking people onto the show that aren't coming on with doom and gloom. Enough doom and gloom in the world, right? We need positivity. We need to see what's around the corner. And we need to see what we can participate in to make that future something akin to the way we would like to see it. Okay? So hopefully we'll get some good response from that. I know Charlie Robinson himself has another couple of people in mind that he can throw our way to the Kev Baker show. And talking of the Kev Baker show, big announcements coming soon, folks. I'm going to tease you for about a full week. But it's confirmed. So it's a gradual build up to some big news right here on KBS, okay? You're going to like it. I hope you're going to like it. I am excited about it. And with that said, that's enough of a teasing. That's enough of a little carrot dangled out there. Get people wondering, what's next? What's coming next? What's he doing now? Ooh, lots of good stuff. Lots of good stuff, folks. Trust me. But listen, today, I want us to take a look at this. Maybe you missed it, but the internet died 5 years ago. And this is a theory spreading online, says the whole internet is now fake. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to ignore the router and the fiber optic broadband or the 3G, 4G, 5G signal you're getting right now. I want you to discredit all of that. It's all fake, right? I'm not talking to people over in Norway and over in America and over in Australia at light speed without hardly any delay via the internet. No. What a ridiculous fool I am. I missed the day that the internet died. Now, it says here that this theory is spreading online, says the whole internet is now fake. It's ridiculous, but possibly not that ridiculous. So I don't know. I don't know what this is going to say. I hope it doesn't get us banned from the aforementioned internet that doesn't exist anymore. But, well, I beg to differ on that. I need to be convinced. Now, what I will say to you before we get into it is, over the course of the past 5 years, if you think back to this time in 2016, a long time ago, right? What's happened since then? Dear Lord, a lot has happened. But it's changed. It's changed to the point where it's irrecognizable. You remember, some people will remember, when we first started getting online, you would get the AOL dial-up disc, and that would be your portal into this thing called the internet. Remember the good old days? We had Google Video. You could go on there and watch as many documentaries as you want. And MySpace, with Napster, all that stuff going on. You remember all that? I remember all those days. I remember that. Bebo. Remember Bebo? That was another one as well, right? One of those early social networking sites. But you think about how it's changed between then and now. Like I say, at times it's irrecognizable, right? But does that mean the internet physically went away and died? And no doubt I'll start getting angry messages in a minute by the person we banned from the chat. I can already see my phone lighting up. I'm not going to check it. I'll check it after the show. There just ain't no pleasing some people. And I'm pretty sure we've gone through this before. We've pretty much laid out the rules for the chat and everything else. And you people don't need telling because, well, you get it. You see? So I don't see why I should have to go over it time and time again. But hey, we move on, we move forward. Another day. Another clown show, ladies and gents. Another clown show. And that's what my Twitter experience has become nowadays. I just tweet my lunatic of the day. I find a tweet and I tell you what, it's quite hard to separate some of the tweets out to find just one lunatic of the day. But there's always one. So if you want to keep up to date with what I think is the lunatic of the day and even offer some of your own, Kev Baker Show over on Twitter. So then, yes, douche canoe captain, always. I am the captain of my own self-imagined douche canoe. There you go, nothing as it seems. Marty, great to see you. Bjorn, are you a fake Norwegian? Are you like that Sid? Are you fake with Sid? I've been to Norway, so you can't tell me Norway's fake. Unless the Marines flew me around RAF Lynham for a couple of hours, and then we landed somewhere where they had fake snow, fake Norwegians, fake trolls, fake expensive beer, fake cold weather. Maybe it is. Maybe I need to stand corrected. Bjorn and Sid are just crisis Norwegians. Are you crisis Norwegians? Are you? I knew it. I bloody well knew it. But anyway, anywho, with that said, now this here is a very, very, very sore on the head picture, that. But it says, are you ready for this, folks? We're going to get into it now. We're going to get into it. And you've got time to hit like, hit share, get it out there before we tell people how ridiculous it is that they think they're watching me on the internet. Because the internet died 5 years ago. Dagnammit. So if you search the phrase, and I haven't done it, I hate texting on Twitter, and scroll down, you will start to notice a pattern. An account with a handle at Pixie Lover and a glowing heart as a profile picture tweets, quote, I hate texting. I just want to hold your hand. I want to hold your... I won't sing, folks. I know I'm tone deaf. It's okay. And it received 16,000 likes. You see, this is how I know that I do Twitter all wrong. I barely get over two likes. Maybe I'll get the odd retweet. I'm terrible at it, but I know that. I know that. That's why I just use it to annoy people and to go after assholes and to highlight lunatics, you see. Fellow lunatics. It takes one lunatic to spot another lunatic, so don't think I'm saying I'm better than any of the lunatics I post over on Twitter. With that said, we'll get back into it, or I'll never get finished today, right? Spooky Andy. Spooky Andy, bro. Now, I know I've got a message to check from you because I've seen that on my in tray this morning. I'll get to it, man. I'll get to it. And for everyone out there who's been sending my mum a lot of love and prayers and good vibes, she is very, very grateful for all of that. And she goes into the operation tomorrow. So from me and my mum and my family, thank you to everyone for sending a lot of positive energy. Bill Bean, he's been throwing up some prayers for my mum. So I really, really appreciate that. Really appreciate that, folks. Thank you so much. Who says the internet isn't for good, eh? I wouldn't have met any of you people. None of you. We wouldn't have this digital relationship that we have without this thing that they say died 5 years ago. It's gonna hard to wrap my head around this one, folks. So an account with a handle at F41 RYGF, sounds like a robot or a bot if ever there was one, and a pink orb as a profile picture tweets, I hate texting, just come live with me. And that received 33,000 likes. Now, an account with a handle, it's pure love, and a pink orb as a profile picture tweets, I hate texting, I just want to kiss you, receiving more than 48,000 likes. Just 48 of those would do my dopamine centers and receptors. Oh, no end of good, right? 48 likes or retweets. Be drowning in a sea of dopamine with that one. It says these are slight changes to the verb choice and girlish name user and color scheme, but the idea is the same each time. I'm a person with a crush in the age of smartphones, and isn't that relatable? Yes, it sure is. But some people on Twitter have wondered whether these are really truly just people with crushes in the age of smartphone saying something relatable. They've pointed them out as possible evidence validating a wild idea called, are we ready? Dead internet theory. DIT. I like it. DIT. Dead internet theory. Let me explain. Well, I'm glad. Who's the author of this? Caitlin. I'm very glad, Caitlin, that you're going to explain this to me and the audience out there. Dead internet theory suggests that the internet has almost entirely been taken over by artificial intelligence. Now, that's a different take on the headline right away, right? Because what I will tell you is one of the things that has changed over the past 5 years is the amount of bots that are out there on the net. And you remember when the first bots came along, they were kind of easy to spot, right? But I would imagine that I and many of you out there have had conversations that we thought or had exchanges between you and somebody else that you thought was a physical person on the other end or the other PC, the other smartphone, the other device, when in reality, they were very much an AI driven bot. You know, it doesn't take long to actually go onto any search engine and look for botnets and ways to boost your social media profile. You can buy views, you can buy likes, you can buy retweets, you can buy positive comments through these companies that run artificial botnets. Now, it's highly, highly taboo to be doing that if you're a YouTube content creator. So I'm telling you right now, don't go down that road unless you want to lose your channel, okay? But these things are very, very, I don't want to say real, but they're definitely out there. And I'm sure nobody is going to contest that. But let's see what it goes on to say. It says, like lots of other online theories, the audience for this one is growing because of discussion led by a mix of true believers, sarcastic trolls. Would we be a sarcastic troll today? Would we? Would we be a sarcastic troll? Maybe. And idly curious lovers of chit chat. One might, for example, point to @_ CAPR1CORN, so Capricorn. A Twitter account with what looks like a blue orb and a pink spot in the middle as a profile picture. In the spring, the account tweeted, "I hate texting. Come over and cuddle me." And then, "I hate texting. I just want to hug you." And then, "I hate texting. Just come live with me." And then, "I hate texting. I just want to kiss you." Which got 1,300 likes, but didn't perform as well as the "It's Pure Love" tweet. But unlike lots of other online theories, this one has a morsel of truth in it. Person or bot. Does it really matter? Oh, absolutely. It definitely matters. Definitely matters. So, dead internet theory. Sorry. We're sitting on the internet right now, folks. I think this is a crap name. I think it's a crap name for what's a pretty good idea, or at least I'm liking the sound of it. We may get further into this, and I might go another way. All right. It's terrifying, but I love it. I read about it on Agora Road's Macintosh Cafe, an online forum with a pixelated Margaritaville vibe, and the self-awarded honor "Best Kept Secret of the Internet" must be true then. If the internet has got a website that says this is the best kept secret of the internet, that must be true, right? According to Jordan Sather, anyway. Right now, the background is a repeated image of palm trees, a hot pink sunset, and some kind of liquor pouring into a rock's glass. It sounds like sounds a little bit like Speculation Island, right? Just need to get a drink on there or something, right? So the site is largely for discussing lo-fi hip-hop, which I don't listen to, but it is also for discussing theories, which we all do. Admit it. As much as I cracked up on that Spurger at the start of the stream, we all love our conspiracies, right? We do. In January, I stumbled across a new thread there titled "Dead Internet Theory. Most of the internet is fake," shared by a user named
Illuminati Pirate.
Yes, indeed. Oh, he's over the target, that boy. Over the next few months, this would become the urtext for those interested in the theory. The urtext. I've never heard that word before, but hey, I'm a bit thick, so it doesn't matter. The post is very long, and some of it is too confusing to bother with. The author claims to have pieced together the theory from ideas shared by anonymous users of 4chan's paranormal section and another forum called Wizard Chan. Oh, need to take a look at that. Which premised on earning wisdom and magic through celibacy. No. Okay, we're not going there. In an email, Illuminati pirate, who is an operations supervisor for a logistics company in California. Damn! All that's missing is their real name, and that would have been the ultimate in doxing the Illuminati pirate, right? Told me that he truly believes in the theory. I agreed not to identify him by name because he said he fears harassment. You might not have named him by name, but you're kind of specific with what he does, right? Donnie, you're so right. I've noticed that as well. Dude. I've noticed that as well. Very random, right? Very random. Where are we? Right, so peppered with casually offensive language, the post suggests that the internet died in 2016 or early 2017. And now that it is empty and devoid of people. Now, this is taking that whole ridiculous, and I call it ridiculous because it is, this whole NPC malarkey to a whole new level, right? A whole new level. These non-player characters. What a horrible thing to say about somebody just because they don't happen to think along the same lines as you or don't happen to frequent the same websites or forums as you do. Oh, well, they must be an NPC then. I would love to know what these people call us. Bear that in mind. For every NPC, there's one of us, folks. Yes, indeed. But we'll come back to this here. It says, as well as entirely sterile. Much of the supposedly human-produced content you see online was actually created using AI, Illuminati pirate claims, and was propagated by bots, possibly aided by a group of influencers on the payroll of various corporations that are in cahoots with the government. Now, that there, I cannot disagree with. I cannot disagree with that. Absolutely not disagree with that. And to that end, I think of the 17th letter of the alphabet. So the conspiring group's intention is, of course, to control our thoughts and get us to purchase stuff. As evidence Illuminati Pirate offers, I've seen the same threads, the same pics, and the same replies posted over and over across the years. We've all noticed that, right? Or at least I assume you have noticed that. Some people highlight it from time to time. Doesn't matter what the biggest story in the world is. You tend to have this effect where you do see a lot of repeat posting, regurgitated. Now, is that something nefarious? Is it some organized type internet activities? I talk about interactive internet activities, the kind of psyops that go on, or are we looking at something more out there, like an AI? Our good friend Kevin McCairn often mentions that there could be an AI in the future that is having an effect on us and the internet right now, and I do have to wonder that. I do have to wonder it. But it goes on to say, where did we go? Where did I get to? Yeah, I think I got to that bit. He argues all modern entertainment is generated and recommended by an algorithm. Now, is it generated? I'm not sure. Is it recommended? Yes. Very much so. Very much so. But somebody, i.e. a human, I would like to think wrote that algorithm. Although we do know now there are AIs that they claim can write their own algorithms. I don't know. I'm not the expert. I love to talk about it. I love to look at all that stuff. Our boy in the chat room, Andy, is probably more clued up on all of this than 90% of us. He works in that kind of line of work, the robotic side of things, which we've spoke about before. He says gestures at the existence of deep fakes, which suggest that anything at all may be an illusion, and links to the New York story from 2018 titled, How Much of the Internet is Fake? And it turns out a lot of it actually. Now, are we like splitting hairs here? Because a lot of the content on the internet is fake. But does that make the entire internet fake? And did it die 5 years ago? Or is it just been overwhelmed by AIs that write their own text? They can come in the form of chatbots. And you better believe there's a relationship between physical human influencers and then these armies of electronic agents that then go out and signal boost. And at the same time, it's an effective way of really covering up any real kernels of truth, any pearls of wisdom that anyone does put on there. If you keep boosting other content that's a lot more salacious, a lot more juicy, I tell you what, I'm starting to buy this. I'm not saying the internet's dead, but the way from which I remember it, it'll never be the same again, right? Turns out a lot of it actually, and I think it's entirely obvious that what I'm subtly suggesting here, given the setup, the post continues. The US government is engaging in an artificial intelligence powered gaslighting of the entire world population. So far, the original post has received more than 73,000 or viewed more than 73,000 times. Now, I can't argue with that, but I would swap the US government for any government and corporations and people who have got the time and the money to do so. Goes on to say, obviously, the internet is not a government psyop, even though the Department of Defense had a role in its invention. But if it were, the most compelling evidence to me is the dead internet theory's observation that the same news items about unusual moon-related events seem to reappear year after year. I swear I've been saying this for years. What if a super flower blood moon? Or sorry, what is a super flower blood moon? What is a pink supermoon? A quick search for headlines from this month brings up there's something special about this weekend's moon. Don't miss rare seasonal blue moon rises tonight, and why this weekend's blue moon is extra rare. I just don't understand why everyone is so invested in making me look at the moon all the time. Leave me alone about the moon. It's a good point. It's a good point, and I've been one of these people that's talked about the blood moons in the past. We recently done a show with Mary DeCina about the sturgeon moon. I'd never heard it being called the sturgeon moon before, but it turns out it's a thing. And it was also a blue moon, right? But I can tell you one reason why a lot of people might post about blood moons. Clicks. Clicks, clicks, clicks. They come in their droves when you start talking about these types of topics. Now, could that also be something that an AI is using to take people's attention from one thing onto another? I don't know. Possibly. Dead internet theory is a niche idea because it's patently, or patently, depending how you pronounce that, ridiculous. But it has been spreading. Caroline Buster, the Berlin-based founder of media platform New Models, recently referenced it in her contribution to an online group show organised by the KW Institute for Contemporary Art. Of course, a lot of that post is paranoid fantasy, she told me, but the overarching idea seems right to her. The theory has become fodder for dramatic YouTube explainers, including one that summarises the original post in Spanish and has been viewed nearly 260,000 times. You see, I'm doing this all bloody wrong. I should have came in here, I should have said breaking news, the internet's dead, and really played it up, right? And I might have got 250,000 views. Damn me. Speculation about the theory's validity started appearing in the widely read Hacker News forum and among fans of the massively popular YouTube channel Linus Tech Tips. Now, I watch Linus. I do watch that channel. In a Reddit forum about the paranormal, The theory is discussed as a possible explanation for why threads about UFOs seem to be hijacked by bots so often. Are they attacked by bots, or are we just like not appreciating how I'm not going to, doesn't matter. The theories, I didn't know where I was going with that, so I'm best not even going anywhere with it. The theory's spread has been entirely organic. Illuminati Pirate has posted a link to his manifesto. Oh man, you know it's a bad day when somebody's got a manifesto. Usually, the only time you hear about a manifesto is when somebody's gone totally cuckoo and they've lost the plot, and this is their ramblings. So, look, hey, listen, just because a man's got a manifesto doesn't mean he's mad. Well, in several Reddit forums that discuss theories, including Joe Rogan's subreddit, which has 709,000 subscribers, in the r/Joe Rogan comments, users argue sarcastically or sincerely about who among them is a bot. I'm absolutely the type of loser who would get swindled into living among bots and never realise it. A member of the 4chan adjacent Something Awful forum commented when the theory was shared there in February. Seems like something a bot would post, someone replied. Even a playful arguments about how everything is the same are the same. The particular conversation continued down the bleakest path imaginable to the point of this comment. If I was real, I'm pretty sure I'd be out there living each day to the fullest and experiencing everything I possibly could with every given moment of this relatively infinitesimal amount of time that I'll exist for instead of posting on the internet about nonsense. Anyway, dead internet theory is pretty far out there. But unlike the internet's many other conspiracy theorists who are boring or really gullible or motivated by odd politics, the dead internet people kind of have a point. In the New York story that Illuminati Private invokes, the writer Max Reed plays with paranoia. Quote, everything that once seemed definitively and unquestionably real now seems slightly fake. That's because people in the world have been conditioned to disbelieve everything to the point where they believe nothing. And that's not a good place to be, folks. It's not a good place to be. But he makes a solid argument. He notes that a majority of web traffic probably comes from bots, and that YouTube, for a time, had such high bot traffic that some employees feared the inversion, the point when the systems would start to see bots as authentic and humans as inauthentic. He also points out that even engagement metrics on sites as big and powerful as Facebook have been grossly inflated or easily gamed, and that human presence can be mimicked with click farms or cheap bots. And that's what I was talking about. Click fraud farm just busted in Thailand. These things are everywhere, folks. Absolutely everywhere. So some of this may be improving now, for better or for worse. Social media companies have gotten a lot better at preventing the purchase of fake views and fake likes, while some bot farmers have, in response, become all the more sophisticated. And that's what's going to happen. You know, we've got GTP3, and I think that's the name of it, GTP3. Yeah, that's it came from open source, open AI. Now Musk doesn't have that anymore, but this is a program where basically we've done it on the show before, where you can type in, say, Kev Baker is a guy in Scotland. He hosts a podcast called The Kev Baker Show, and you leave it and it'll type out 3 or 4 paragraphs. And GPT-3 is pretty well advanced. It's hard to tell if you're reading something that a human wrote or something that a bot wrote. And it goes far further than that, because we're now entering a time where programmers and coders can basically say what they want. You can basically fill out a bunch of parameters about a website, web design, you name it, and then this program will do all the coding for you. Boom. Now that's only going to get better over time. Only going to get better over time. So Okay, okay. Major platforms still play whack-a-mole with inauthentic activity, so the average internet user has no way of knowing how much of what they see is real. That's a really good Infinity spat you out against ZX. It's never good. Never good. Nobody likes being spat out, dude. Major platforms still play whack-a-mole with the activity. So I want to ask all of you people out there. I want to ask all of you people while I get a little drink of coffee here. On a percentage, okay? 0 being the lowest to 100 being everything's fake. How much fake content do you think we are subjected to anytime we go to social media? Let's use Twitter as an example, okay? How much of what you see on Twitter, if you look at 10 posts, okay, how many of those posts do you think are actually real? On average, folks. What do you think? Say out of 100 posts, how many of those stories, how many of those people posting, how many of those narratives do you think are actually real? And how many do you think are AI, bot-driven lies? Come on now, come on, let's see. I reckon it's probably about 50-50. Spooky Andy, very precise as our Spooky Andy, 82.523%. 5, and that's including real but not written. So about 50% jigs. About that. 3%, you think 3% are real or 3% aren't real, Malaya? I want the percentage of how much you think is fake. I would go way beyond 3%, personally. Okay, ZX, I know you don't use it, but in general then, the internet, along these, the premise of the kind of story we're reading, much fake content do you think's out there, dude? Yep. 40% real, 60% fake, says Jackie. Newsweek is terrible. That's why I don't go there, dude. But I tell you what it does do is it at least gives you a link. It gives you a link to the original, article, which is pretty good. I always urge people, I just take it for granted that people nowadays do fact check. Well, Matt says 100%. That, you see, now I post on Twitter, maybe don't read my posts, 100% of what you see. So Matt's going all in on dead internet theory. I like it. People, 88 stories, 40 real. Mainstream media, the worst for it. They're all at it. So's the alternative media, ZX. Don't give them any leeway, man. What else we got in here? Any more? So I think we're all pretty much appreciating that a lot of what we see depends on what accounts you look at. Very good point, Marty. And Marty does make a very good point, because remember, no two of us have exactly the same Facebook or Twitter feed. Always bear that in mind, folks. It's individually tailored. Not to a group of people. It doesn't put you in a group of people. It gets to know you. Say you start liking techie posts, maybe about the quantum computers and things. Within a week or so, you go onto your Twitter and you're going to see a lot more of that content. Why? Well, away from being nefarious, it wants to keep you on the website. They want you there. It wants to show you things that you are going to interact with. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So once it gets to know what things you do interact with, it starts tailoring that individually to you. Just you. How special does that make you feel, eh? If only. So Rick Anderson says 45% real. Donnie Firmer 50-50. You know what, Donnie? I'm going with you. 50-50, because it's dependent on what people see, right? 50-50, I reckon that's a good one. I reckon that's pretty. We can go with that. So it says, but the more than that, the theory feels true. Most weeks, Twitter is taken over by an argument about how best to practice personal hygiene or which cities have the worst food and air quality, and somehow devolves into allegations of classism and accusations of the worst crimes imaginable, which it does. Which for whatever reason is actually not as offensive as classism anymore. A celebrity is sorry. A music video a music video has broken the internet. A meme has gotten popular and then boring. Jennifer might be back on, and no one's more excited than Twitter. At this point, you could even say that the point of the theory is so obvious, it's cliche. People talk about longing for the days of weird web design and personal sites and listservs all the time. Even Facebook employees say they miss the old internet. The big platforms do encourage their users to make the same conversations and arcs of feeling and cycles of outrage happen over and over, so much so that people may find themselves acting like bots, responding on impulse in predictable ways to things that were created in all likelihood to elicit that very response. This is a really interesting article because it really highlights a lot of the psychology of what goes on online. Thankfully, if all this starts to bother you, you don't have to rely on a wacky theory for mental comfort. You can just look for evidence of life. The best proof I have that the internet isn't dead is that I wandered onto some weird website and found an absurd rant about how the internet is so dead. And ironically, that in a way kind of proves that the internet hasn't lost some of its crazy appeal, right? But we'll come back on the other side. We're going to get into some more stuff, folks. More stuff on the way. We're going to take a look at... Well, we're going to take a look at a lot of stuff, some really weird stuff. Weird, wacky woo. And I promise you, folks, that I am very, very real. At least the last time I checked, I hadn't been swapped for an organic robotoid. Maybe. Jimmy Jeans thinks I got swapped out a long time ago, but that's okay. That's okay. I'll be back in a moment, troops. Keep it real. I hope you're all real. We could do with some bots about here. 38 people watching. Dang, dude. That's how we like it around here. Yes. ZX says, let's face it, if that idea gets hits, the Earth are IQ deficient. Just another day in Clownworld. There we go. There we go. Just another couple of quick headlines, and then I'll be shooting off to watch the soccer. Why am I calling it soccer? We call it football in this country. You Americans have Americanified me? Americanized? What's the word? Yankified? I'm not used to speaking American people, and I think they're real. Maybe they're bots. Maybe America isn't real. I'm only joking. But I tell you what, I found a couple of interesting things today. Check this out. This one really kind of had me questioning whether I had read it right or not. Here we go. BBC, must be true. New species of ancient four-legged whale discovered in Egypt. What? I know. Check that out. I'm sorry, but that thing is no whale. That is, yeah. So it says scientists in Egypt have identified a new species. David Bellamy. We used to love David Bellamy. Is David Bellamy still around? Is he? Yeah, spiritually sovereign. Saying I'm real, bro. That's not enough nowadays, dude. It's not enough. I mean, that's the kind of thing a bot might say. I'm only joking spiritually. I'm only joking, man. I would like to think we're all physical here. All 40 of us. Not even the bots bother with KBS. Not even the bots. TEDx says, yes, an elephant. Exactly, a water elephant. I'm liking that, water elephant. So scientists in Egypt have identified a new species. And I always used to do that as well, in case you're wondering why I'm doing a ball jiggling movement. It's not because I'm some kind of deviant pervert with an invisible ball sack in my hand. It's like the species. So anywho, right? Four-legged whale that lived around 43 million years ago. Damn, dude. Damn. So the fossil of the amphibious Phaeomycetus Anubis. Oh, it's Anubis. Now, I always thought Anubis was a dog head. Wasn't Anubis the dog head? People laughing because I was giving it, the species. I'll need to do that more often if it gets a laugh. It was originally discovered in Egypt's western desert. Its skull resembles that of Anubis, the ancient Egyptian jackal-headed god of the dead. Spiritually, we're all that at times. Don't worry about that, dude. You're in the right place. At least I am. I can't speak for the other 40-odd people here, but me and you are in that crowd. So its skull resembles Anubis again, god of the dead, after which it was named. So the ancestor of modern whales developed from deer-like mammals that lived on land over the course of 10 million years, weighing an estimated big boy 600 kilograms and 3 meters, 10 feet in length. The Phaeomycetus Anubis. Wow. I can't even say my own name on a good day, but I get the Phaeomycetus Anubis. I made it. I got it wrong. Anubis. Had strong jaws to catch prey, according to a study published by the Proceedings of the Royal Society B on Wednesday. The whale was able to walk on land and swim in water. Wow. So the partial skeleton was found in Egypt's Fayum Depression and analysed by scientists at the Mansoura University. Although the area is now desert, it was once covered by sea and is a rich source of fossils. Phaeomycetus Anubis is a key new whale species and a critical discovery for the Egyptian and African paleontology. The study's lead author, Abdullah Gohar, told Reuters news agency. And while this might not be the first time the fossil of a whale with legs has been found, the Phaeomycetus Anubis, I think I've pronounced that differently every time I've said it, but new species of ancient whale is believed to be the earliest type of semi-aquatic whale to be discovered in Africa, unless it's fake. I'm only joking after the last story we done, folks. Come on. You know me. I'm not one of those dudes. I'm not an everything's fake guy. The first whales are thought to have first evolved in South Asia around million years ago. In 2011, a team of paleontologists in Peru discovered a 43-million-year-old whale fossil with 4 legs, webbed feet, and hooves. Can we go as far as to say that they possibly misidentified it as a whale? I mean, I'm not one of these people that's really big on pronouns or what we identify from one day to the next, right? But when you got 4 legs, webbed feet, and hooves, I'm sorry, but you ain't no whale. No, not even a woke dinosaur can claim it's a whale. Is it a trans whale? I don't know. Okay, I digress, but exactly. We're going to go into our next story now, and you Aussies down there, you're going to love this, but this is something we've talked about before. We're going to take a look at it again because the Tasmanian tiger footage. I wonder if that whale can walk like an Egyptian. Probably. Bangles, brilliant band. You're of a certain age if you can remember the Bangles, right? And what was their number one hit? Eternal Flame, that was it, wasn't it? Eternal Flame? Think so, yeah. I remember when snakes had legs too. Tessa. If only we could get a photo of that. So, footage of the last known thylacine in captivity has been remastered to mark 85 years since its passing. And of course, like Donnie is saying there, these things ain't extinct. They might not have been seen as commonly by man, or at least the white fella, over the years. These things ain't gone. We've had Ken Rotman on the show talking about how he has often encountered what he believes are the Tasmanian tigers, the thylacine. Let's just take a look at what this looks like now. Now, remember the old horrid, like black and white footage? It was like crap. It was horrible. I'm liking this. Check it out. We'll speed up a little bit so we don't get absolutely obliterated by the copyright. There you go. That is one cool looking animal, right? There's the original there, so you can see now how better it looks. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. I'm thinking pretty cool. So listen, my boy isn't back in from playing football yet. So let me just grab a quick drink of coffee. Leslie, good to see you. And good to see everyone here. I like the compact and Beijing approach. I like it when we've got 50. That's our ideal number here. We're almost at that now. But I'm going to come back in a moment, do another couple of headlines, get another couple of laughs. No more species. Definitely not holding either. That was a bit... Where did that come from? Dave had entered the building, right? Is Dave a robot? I recommend 416 megahertz. Good stuff. Good stuff, dude. Bear in mind, keep it on topic. Don't drift into some of the stuff that we can't talk about on here spiritually. We've already had this today. I've already had to clang somebody once. I don't want to go there again. Absolutely fantastically brilliant spiritually. I think you missed the start of the show. Maybe somebody in the chat will catch you up, dude. That wasn't a go at you, my man. Wasn't a go at you. It was just harking back to crazy at the start of the stream. I knew I had something. I knew I had something. We got something kind of weird when we come back, folks. Oh, it's good. Don't forget, coming up later today on the Kev Baker Show, Charlie Robinson. Yes, if you look down in the right-hand corner, you will see we're not only live on the home of KBS at tfrlive.com, but we are going to be live over on Odyssey. Wow, Spiritually's been... Wow, dude, you're like part of the furniture, man. Oof, that's almost like a Mandela effect, you know. Some people say that there was never any shows with Nano and Whistler, but me and Spirituality Sovereign, we can test that. Absolutely. I'd do anything to go back 5 years. We were talking about how the internet changed 5 years ago. That story we opened up with. If I went back 5 years, I would be pre-heart attacks, and although I would still have COPD, I didn't know about it then, and it was a far happier time. I was like working. I don't know how I managed to do it. At one point, I was doing 12-hour shifts and then coming in and doing a 2-hour show at night, and I was able to do that no probs. That's pretty weird going, right? I'd get in at 7 o'clock at night in the UK if I was on day shift. And then I would go 3 hours until the show, do the show for 2 hours, back to bed, up again, rinse, repeat, and do it all again for 4 days. And then the Freaky Friday on a Friday, obviously. But say a Sunday. A Freaky Friday on a Sunday would be really weird. But you know, now that I'm housebound, unfortunately, is what it is, not looking for sympathy, I actually find that there's less time in the day. How in hell's name does that happen? How does that happen? I know people say that when you get older, time starts speeding up and all that good stuff. But even Charlie Robinson said to me today, he says, Kev, you know, people talk about time speeding up, and it feels like last week since Charlie was on the show. But it's been a month already since Charlie's been on, and he'll be back on today. And Charlie Robinson, well, I can't tell you too much more at the moment because I'm kind of building up my big announcement, right? But Charlie might have something to do with it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Tessa, yes, time has speeded up. But is that us just getting older? Is it because now we've got information at our fingertips 24 hours a day? I don't know. It must be something that's giving the illusion of time speeding up. I say the illusion because 24 hours is still 24 hours, right? A week is still a week. Or is it? There's probably a theory out there that, no, it stopped being a week about 10 days ago or something. Jocelyn, I'm in the same boat. CERN, Tessa, I really think a lot of the hype to do with CERN, and bearing in mind how much of an influence I had on that hype, I really do think um, theories on CERN are very, very exaggerated. Now, that being said, that being said, I do have to wonder what it does to the fabric of space and time when you've not just got CERN, you've got over 100 particle accelerators around the world colliding things at near light speed, and in the scientists' words, ripping little portals and into other dimensions and stuff like that. Do I think CERN has speeded up time? You know, I can't sit here and say it hasn't because I don't know that. Does it feel like it has? It could have. Maybe it has contributed. Can I go back 3 minutes and take that back? Maybe CERN is doing everything, Tessa. Those strangelets dripping. No, trust me, if a strangelet drips anywhere, we would know about it because it would annihilate anything it comes into contact with. And as far as I know, and I don't know much, I don't think we've got any massive holes underneath CERN just yet. Maybe we do. Maybe that's what the upgrades have been all about. But Marty's wondering what I've got on my sleeve. Not a lot today. I've got a short sleeve t-shirt on. Oh, what? Maybe, hang on. I had to check what arm I've got a tattoo on. Can you see it? Just about. Got a tattoo under that sleeve. 16 hours a day, say some. That feels about right. That feels about right. It does. Something's gone whacked up with the time. Now, Tessa makes a good point. The atomic and neutron bombs affected it way back as well. I wonder what that done. I do wonder what that done to space and time continuum. Yeah, time equals the speed of rotation of the planet, and time is relative. Bear in mind as well, if we're not alone in this universe, then we're going to find that our measurement of time is one of many, right? Because let's say there's another star out there with a planet going around it, and it takes, well, I don't know, maybe say a week in our time to kind of do that full orbit, right? That rotation on the day, right? The day. Would they have broken it up into something different? I.e., the measurement of time would be completely different. I struggle to even put this into words, but to generalize it, is time even real? I know we've got like atomic measurements on this thing we call time, but is it just an illusion caused by time never standing still? And remember, when it comes to time, you can't talk about time without talking about space, because it's space-time we're in, right? The two are connected. It's weird, it's wonderful, it's wacky. Berners-Lee NXT computers at CERN. I don't know what that means. Berners-Lee next computer at CERN. I'm not sure what that means, dude. It sounds interesting though. What if you're living on Mars? Again, this is our way of measuring things, right? We've taken how long? Again, how can you speak about time without speaking about time? If time's an illusion and it's not real, how do you speak about it in language that is built on the back that it is a real thing? I don't bloody know. You have confused me now, folks. Look, we've lost 5 people when I've been talking about this. Atom deterioration rates. You people are all so much brainier than me. It makes me not feel. I remember how much of a fool I am and just how limited my cranial see, I don't even know. I don't even know a word. Anyway, anyhow, what he's doing to me. Well, come on, folks. Come on. Bakshi, sort it out.
What nonsense is this? This mindset is extremely dangerous.
And he's talking about me there. He's talking about me, folks. Not yous, at me. Anywho, I have got a good story for us to wrap up today's proceedings. Um, time is meaningless, yet it is all we exist for. No, Tessa, it's me. Is it me and you? Are we both the fool? I'm definitely me. I'm only saying you because you said you. It's me. I am that narcissistic. I see myself on the fool card. Donnie, we forgive you. Thank you, Donnie. I would have been, I'd have been bloody lost if I hadn't been forgiven for my stupidity today. PPP Bernays, dude, we are over a week now, man. Ah, don't go there. Don't go. Maybe that's what's adding to the weirdness in my reality right now. But listen, like I say, I've got a decent story I came across. I can relate. I don't even know how to describe how dumb I feel. Marty, that's where I'm at often. See, when I listen to Doc McCairn, I sometimes have to go away and have a little word with myself out the back and wonder, what in hell's name did I do in school? How did I waste so much time in school? And how is there so much stuff I don't know anything about? And in reality, I've not got the cranial power to wrap my head around. Yeah. A photograph stops time in your perception, possibly. Time space is one. I could sit here and just do a whole stream talking to you people, right? PPP and all water now. Yeah. Anyhow, right? You know how we're like exorcisms, demonic stuff, ooga boogas. It's something that's never too far away from the Kev Baker show, right? Good friend Bill Bean, he works in this field every single day, every hour of every day, 24/7. So when I came across this next story, it's one I'd put in a folder. I thought we need to look at that at some point. It's only taken me 5 days. Now, Reynold Hergenrother, you are not alone, my friend. You're not alone. I can guarantee there's at least 42 people out there, and me. That's 43 people who prove that you're not alone. Not alone at all. Now, you say school's to dumb you down, but I did learn a lot in school as well, Donnie. They might not tell you the full thing, but they definitely teach a good bit of stuff along the way as well. But yes, it's they certainly don't open you up to the type of information that we crack open on the Kev Baker show from time to time, right? Definitely not. But this guy here, this could be the key to it all. This next guy we're going to take a look at. Telling you, dude, he might be on it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he is on it. But what if I was to tell you that in Scotland, with only in Scotland, I don't even know if this guy's in Scotland. I believe he is, right? Let's see. A priest claims that demons have figured out how to send menacing text messages. Now, I don't know if this guy here's been caught sending really bad text messages and his get out clause was, well, it must be the demons that are doing it. I don't know, but we're going to get into it, right? Stephen Rossetti believes that demons have now worked out how to torment, not to foment. Never go fomenting a victim. Doesn't taste good. Tormenting their victims' families and any priests attempting to carry out exorcisms via text message. Now, let me stop there. I had no idea. I'm going to have to ask Bill this. Is it possible to have an exorcism by text message? That doesn't smell right to me. That doesn't smell right. I'm just saying. It doesn't smell right to me. But hey, I'm a silly guy. So it says here, I may be enlightened, right? Maybe the demons are going to enlighten me here. A priest has claimed that evil demons have now figured out how to send menacing text messages. Stephen Rossetti, a licensed psychologist and counsellor, has said that they do it to torment their victims, their families, and any priests attempting to save them. The Daily Star reports that Mr. Rossetti said, "We have had 3 cases in which demons have texted the team and or the family of the possessed person. 2 of these cases were the most difficult cases we have had so far, and the third involved a pious family with priestly and religious vocations among the children. So all were high-value targets with high-ranking, powerful demons involved. What we thinking, folks? What we thinking here? The 70-year-old who alongside his team performs up to 20 exorcisms a week. In fact, I missed a line there. This suggests that it takes considerable spiritual energy to cross over and manipulate such items in the physical world. So we're talking about, and listen, this might sound out there to you, but one thing I've definitely learned, and I know for a fact, do we know anything for a fact? That you can't separate the spiritual realm from the physical realm. And there definitely is some kind of spiritual warfare raging all the time. And there is a hierarchy to these entities that dwell in the darkness. I remember Carolyn Hamlet, I think her name was, off the top of my mind. And she's actually passed now. God rest her soul. But she came from one of these really spooky, yicky type money families, right? Connected. Hell of a story she had. Hell of a childhood. But she talked about having a handler, both physical and in the spiritual realm. And they talked about the hierarchy, or she talked about how these demonic entities are actually given a hierarchy from the big man at the top and then downwards from there. We hear about the 72 demons of the Goetia, is it? And the reason I come to speak to you on this before we get back into this is because at the best of times, I don't know what to believe about what goes on in this world or the next. But one thing, like I say, that I do believe is very real, is that there's a spiritual aspect to everything. And some people get tormented by spiritual entities. In this case, we would call them demons if you're from that kind of belief system. Some call them the jinn, call them ooga boogas if you want. Something that ain't too good, that hasn't got your best interests at heart. Do they attack people? Do they attach themselves to people? I absolutely do believe that. And if that makes me sound silly, that's okay. Give me 2 seconds, Kevin, at the door. Okay, there we go. So, with that in mind, I'll come back to this story here. Let's see what it says. Now, the 70-year-old who, alongside his team, performed 20 exorcisms a week in Washington, D.C., shared examples of some of the messages. One said, "Her torments start now, priest. All night will make her bleed." Another gloated, "We're glad she's away from you now." The issue of texting with a demon is covered in the priest's book, Diary of an American Exorcist. Okay, so he's got a book to sell. Shouldn't let that affect us too much, but he says he claims demonic interference in technology is nothing new, with a long and well-documented history of them flickering lights on and off and targeting TVs. The priest is a well-known name in the US and has appeared on TV shows such as Meet the Press and Larry King Live. Stephen recently claimed a man possessed by a demon woke up with the beast's huge claw marks on his back during an exorcism. And he said we had one person who woke up in the morning with what looked like a claw mark on their back, he explained. It looked like a huge beast took over took their claws and raked across their back. 5 claw marks, about 2 feet long and 2 inches wide, and it looked real ugly. It says, don't miss the latest news. So it doesn't really. I'm going to ask you people out there, do we think that they're sending text messages and tormenting victims and the priests that are helping them? What do you think, folks? What do you think? What say you, the KBS audience? What are you saying? Do you think it's something? I would imagine this is one of the rare occasions where really it should be quite easy to figure out where a text is coming from, right? Is it coming? I mean, there should be some kind of way of tracing where these things come from. And if it's the priests that are getting the text message like we read there, are we looking at somebody, maybe going back to the people that have been having issues and the priest or an unquestionable character saying, look, I'm still getting text messages to say you're not safe. We'll need to do another session for X amount of dollars. I don't know, folks. I don't know. I think there's something very electromagnetic to everything in this world. Everything that we see around us physically and invisibly as well. Be that other dimensions, other realms, whatever word, name, title, language you want to use, timelines. I think there is an electromagnetic connection between all of them. We live in an electromagnetic universe. Check out Thunderbolt's project if you want to find out more information about that. It's fascinating. And I would imagine there's an electromagnetic component to absolutely anything. So does that carry into spiritual warfare? I would believe so. Do I believe they're sending text messages? I don't know. I'm not sure. But that doesn't mean it's not real. And in the end of the day, whatever I think, whatever I say, whatever I feel, it should not influence any way at all what you think about something. Because in the end of the day, I truly put all of you first. I think you're all pretty clued up enough to make your own minds up about things without me trying to steer you in one direction or another. How can I tell people what goes on in the world when I myself can't make sense of it? So the best we try to do around here and on KBS later today with Charlie Robinson is what we always say. It's what we always say, ladies and gentlemen. I provide, you decide. I want to thank all of you for taking an hour out of your day to come and hang out with me here on an internet that might not be real. Okay, we kind of got past the clickbaity title and found out there was a lot of substance to that story. The internet itself might not be fake, but a hell of a lot of the content and the characters on it are absolutely, provably, demonstrably fake. Now, we also talked about the really weird looking species confused fossil from Egypt that claimed to be a walking whale. We think it's just an identity crisis. And then we wrapped up the show with the demons using text messages. I don't know, but it's these questions, these topics, these things that will keep us coming back for more. And if you can handle more, then I really urge you to join us today over here on Odyssey. Yes, Charlie Robinson is going to be live with me from 10 p.m. I will drop the link in there right now. I will be blitzing out the live link when we go live. But there's the channel if you want to go and check it out. 51 followers over there now. Hey, listen, I think we only had about 20 last week, so we're getting there. Derek Akora. Hey, Sam. Sam, what is it, Sam? Mary loves. Hey, you thought I was going to do it, ZX. You thought I was going to do it. I need to get that sound clip back. But remember, over on Odyssey, we'll be talking about anything and everything today with Charlie Robinson, one of my real, so lucky me and Charlie connected in the first place, and I'm so glad it happened. Hard to say somebody's a friend, like a proper friend, when you haven't met them physically. But he goes way beyond some guy I get on a show. Honestly, I love Charlie to bits. He's got a really good mind, really sharp. We don't agree on everything. You might think because I'm a big fan of Charlie, I must agree with Charlie on everything. We don't. We actually don't. So today we're going to be talking about, well, I can't talk about that on here. You'll need to come over and join me on the main show. So listen, thank you all for being here. I know. It was earlier today. I dragged you out of your comfort zone early. But now I'm going to go and spend some quality time with Kevin watching the football. And again, thank you to everyone out there who continues to send love and support to my old dear in the hospital. I'll be speaking to her later on. I'll be making sure that she knows she's got people all around the world rooting for her. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that's what makes you so real. So real it hurts. But it hurts in a good way. We're out of here. Keep it real.